Welcome to the Get Real with King Arthur show, you patient people. And we're continuing on this, what am I calling it, a jag or something. Got started talking about quantum physics, and I'm still on that until I exhaust it. And you'll remember that some physicists I read, marvelous researchers, diligent, their work is marvelous. Nevertheless, their picture of the world is purposeless, inhuman, arid, and unconnected with life as we live it, the desperate business of living and finding meaning. And so I'm positing that there must be another track to truth, since materialistic scientists and modern philosophers have given up on meaning, on metaphysics. And so we have this something or other, don't know what it is, floating through time in the universe, connected with nothing. So anyway, I talked about the path to meaning, a path to meaning. And I talked about the living with high aspirations. You make the world you live in. If your world you think has no meaning, as Sylvia Plath did, or the meaning was an ugly meaning, you may make your life ugly. Then we talked about the path to life that Tennyson describes in Memoriam in his friend Arthur Henry Hallam, who died at age 22. And we see that in his doubts, he struggled and to find meaning. He would not make his judgment blind. And he strove in the discordant notes to make them true, like when someone sits down to play a piano piece. And then it ends with, and power was with him that doesn't dwell in the light alone, but in the darkness and the light, even in his struggling in the dark. Perplexed in faith, but pure in deeds, at last he beat his music out. Now, let's talk about that power. And power was with him. Well, this is a very personal and intimate kind of thing to talk about. And I want to talk about it in terms of two 19th century poems. First, Wordsworth's Lines Written a few miles above Tintern Abbey, and then Shelley's Hymn to Intellectual Beauty. And so today it's Wordsworth. Now, he begins this poem, 5 years have passed, and 5 long winters and 5 summers in the length of 5 long winters. Listen, friends, this poem is almost nervous breakdown poem, because Wordsworth got tangled up in a love relationship and could have lost his life in the French Revolution. And his 5 years have passed, and now he's back in nature. And so he chronicles in the poem the evolution of his life and thinking. By the way, I think I've been at least twice to the scenes he describes, the the stream below the river, the steep and lofty cliffs, and the cottage grounds and whatever. I climbed those steep and lofty cliffs. Anyway, so here are the stages in his life that he chronicles for us. First, rough animal movements, playing, he loves to talk about his boyhood sports among rowing and running and hunting birds, and he loved it. And then it evolved, that's the first stage, it evolved into a love of nature. He said, I cannot paint what then I was. The tall rock, the mountains haunted me like a passion. And he talked about nature bringing on deep feelings of joy in which we see into the life of things. Now, surprisingly, he says, that time is past, and all its dizzy raptures are no more. Well, no, I don't fade. Other gifts remain of ample power to make recompense for those ecstatic days of nature. And he says, for two reasons. I've heard the still, sad music of humanity, not harsh or grating, but of ample power to chasten and subdue. And the second is, I have felt a presence, that's the power, whose dwelling is the light of setting suns in the round ocean and in the mind of man in the blue sky. And it says, a presence that impels all living things. And I have felt, look at this language, I have felt the pain of elevated thoughts. And so he has felt something higher, a presence. And notice it's painful as well as meaningful. And it dwells in experience, in nature. And this is the power that he says supplanted glad animal movements and as an ecstasy in nature, kind of, I have felt a power that impels all living things, all objects of all thought. No, I don't fade because I've lost those other things. And this is power. It's an ecstatic experience, an experience of high power and meaningful power. It disturbs me with the joy of elevated thoughts. Look at that language. It disturbs me with the joy. Oh, isn't that interesting? Of elevated thoughts. And this presence, is awe-inspiring. And this is what he has experienced as the apogee of his development. Let me give you one example I'll end with where he felt the presence. As a boy, he was walking from Cockermouth in the Lake District to Penrith through the mountains. And by the side of this big lake, Ullswater, tucked in the mountains. And he was going to visit his grandparents. He was at school in Cockermouth. And he saw a boat tied up to the shore. Now, he knows he shouldn't take that boat out. That's not his boat, but he did. And he's rowing away from the shore because his back is to the lake and he sees a mountain before him. And the mountain strode after me. And with trembling hands, I brought that boat back to its shore. It says the sublime he learned sublime in nature. The joy, the pain, the joy of elevated thoughts. That's a description of the power. And have you ever had that experience? Have you ever experienced that ecstasy? Well, words were said, this is what now sustains me, that experience of the power that directed Arthur Henry Hallam, which he doesn't just name necessarily. Well, more of this, and I hope that you've experienced the power of this ecstasy. Have a good one.